Well, he said that was on purpose because that he co-wrote I Got the Fire with Ronnie Montrose, and Ronnie never gave him credit. So Sammy got pissed off and decided to rip off his riff for the song, but then in the end, he felt bad, and he gave Ronnie credit, and he's giving part of the money to Ronnie's family for the song. And he also played Ronnie's guitar on the song that he recorded, which he bought off of his wife, his widow. How do you like that? What do you think of that?
Is he still so bitter that over 40 years later, he still can't get over the fact that perhaps he wrote the lyrics to this song and Ronnie didn't give him credit to it? Which is interesting because he has credited Ronnie in the past to not ripping him off, because Ronnie gave him advice and told him things like, "Oh, listen, if you're going to write a song, you want to have your own publishing.
Right.
You want to do this, you want to do that." I mean, Ronnie could have ripped him off completely, but he didn't. He really gave Sam early lessons on the business.
Right.
Which Sam never forgot.
Right.
So that was the first time I ever heard that story. So that was interesting.
Absolutely.
And I it's unfortunately Ronnie's not around to tell his part of the story, because it's not like every album credit in the Montrose era is Ronnie Montrose and no Sammy. I mean, there's some Sammy songs. There's some Sammy and Ronnie songs. So I really wonder about that claim. I'm not saying Sammy's a liar. I'm just saying that sometimes he doesn't remember the details quite so accurately.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this is what blows my mind, is Sammy remembers all those details from God knows 40-some-odd years ago, but he can't remember that Seven Seal and Big Fat Money are on balance? I mean, come on. I mean, he's remembering credits. He's remembering credits from the early 70s. But I just think that's funny. So,
and then the other thing I'm sitting there going is, he's talking about how the creative juices are flowing, for the new album,
right,
and yada, yada, yada. And meanwhile, your first creative juice is to rip off an old song.
Right.
So I'm not.
Well, I tell you, I love the song, so it's hard for me.
I like the song. It's a good song, but it's been done.
No, that's true. That's true. So now, also, speaking of the Red Rocker, he is red hot because he just officially released his first single, Trust Fund Baby, which we've been talking about. He announced the release date for his new album, spaced between his upcoming, highly anticipated concept album, which is coming out on May 10th. He released the track listing, his 10 songs. First one is Devil Came to Philly. Second one is Full Circle Jam, which we've also known as Chump Change, and that's in parenthesis. Can't Hang, which I think you named after your penis, Dave. And then number 4, I had to get one in. Number 4, The Wide Open Space. Number 5, Free Man. Number 6, Bottom Line. I wonder if it's a cover of the David Lee Roth song. Number 7, No Worries. Number 8, Trust Fund Baby. Number 9, Affirmation. And number 10, Hey Hey. Without Greed, in parenthesis. Hey Hey was originally the title of the album. He also announced a 23-day tour starting on April 19th in Reno, Nevada. And then he's going to wrap up in Tinley Park, Illinois in June 7th. He has Vince Neil and Night Ranger as opening acts on various parts of the tour. It's either Vince Neil or Night Ranger, depending on where you are. And it's a concept album which focuses on money, greed, enlightenment, and truth. Sounds like a Sting album. I don't know. I know, right? I don't know if the concept will be so prevalent, though. I mean, it's not like The Wall or Tommy where I think it's like the concept is heavy. I wonder if you could listen to the album and enjoy the rock songs, but I don't know if you'll get the whole concept. We'll see. I'm curious to see.
Yeah, me too.
Now, and the tour stops at the beginning of the summer, and then another leg picks up in the fall, which obviously is curious. And obviously, he's leaving a window for the Van Halen reunion in there for his buddy Mike. That's for sure. And Mike is certainly waiting by the phone. So tickets went on sale for Sammy's tour. And one fan, when Sammy announced it on Instagram, actually complained right to Sammy's face. As soon as he announced it, he came right back to him. And this is what he said. He says, "Why are the tickets so expensive, though? We poor folks can't pay $150 a seat." And I give this guy credit. Since I give Sam credit for responding, but listen to this response. "I have no control over all the extra charges they throw in. I just know that I threw in a CD for $6. Cheaper than you would have to buy it for. Believe me, it drives me crazy trying to be on top of all that stuff. I'm sorry. I promise I will make it worth it." So at least he responded, and then he says, but really the truth is, and this is a good point to note this, the tickets for all these goddamn shows are getting out of control. I don't know when this is going to rectify itself, but I don't know if you've noticed, Dave, but this is the trend that's what's been going on. Okay, so these bands come out and they announce these tours, and they put up these ticket prices. Now, if this shit doesn't sell, what happens is they do what they call a ticket dump. Okay, so say you charge $150 a ticket, and they're not moving so well. All of a sudden, they start doing buy one, get one frees. They start putting them on Groupon. They're dumping tickets left and right. It's crazy. Dave, if you go to a Jones Beach show, and you go at the beginning of the season, say, and you go to see a show and you bought a ticket, you might go, and then all of a sudden they're like, ZZ Top tickets for $20. And there's an actual representative from Jones Beach selling ZZ Top tickets for $20. And you're like, wait, I don't, it's almost, they almost appear like a scalper. It's bizarre. And they're inside the venue. And they're all in the, the outfits, the official Live Nation outfits or whatever. But this is what they do because they got to fill the seats. Because the bottom line is the act gets a guarantee. They get a guarantee for the show. So whatever they get paid, say they get paid $100,000 for the show. And then obviously it's up to Live Nation to make out the money to sell the tickets, to whatever they got to do. They make money on concessions, money on merch, all this kinds of stuff, right? And they got to make their money back. And sometimes they might want to get rid of some of the tickets just to get the people in the house so they'll spend more money on merch or drinks or something. It is getting ridiculous. Now, how fair is that to someone who bought it on the first day or something, and then the other guy buys his ticket? The new move that these people are doing is they're waiting until like a week or a day or two before the show to buy their ticket, unless it's some sort of like really hot ticket that it's almost impossible to get in type of thing. What do you make of this?
I am pulling that same move with Sammy.
Oh, are you?
Actually.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't buy tickets yet.
Right.
I mean, one of the reasons I noticed is that when the ticket prices went on sale in my area, they were like $90 to $100, and that was before any additional Ticketmaster charges.
Right.
So, and the last time we saw Sammy, I don't remember paying nearly that much. Right. I mean, I think it was like, I don't know, maybe like 60 or something like that, all in.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So when Sammy's like, oh, I don't know why, I'm always like, you're full of garbage. Mm-hmm. You're full of garbage because there is definitely like a base price you get paid, and you're very well aware of that. And for a guy who's always like, I play for the fans, I do it for the music, I don't need the money. And meanwhile, a Sammy Hagar solo show is $100 or $150.
That's very high.
That is very high.
That is very
But you're right. It's getting out of control. And you asked the question, what's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back? And, man, we have been saying that for decades, Dave. And it has not gotten any better.
Right.
It only gets worse. Right. And I just don't see this massive correction, like a stock market correction.
Right.
I don't see this massive correction. I do see more what you're talking about, where they start off really high,
right,
and then as you get towards the end,
this is the new trend.
You can get the tickets cheap,
right?
And how is that fair to the person who bought it? Well, it's not, except the person who bought the tickets when they went on sale day one.
Right.
That's what the ticket was worth to them.
Right.
So that's what they got it.
Right.
So it's like if you paid a whole lot more to a scalper.
Right.
And, what was it worth to you? It was worth the price you paid the scalper.
Right.
So whether you pay a lot or whether you pay a little, I mean, the whole thing is just so crazy and so corrupt.
Yeah, it's getting really shady.
If you want to see a show and you want a good seat, you got to pay for it.
Right.
That's just the bottom line. It's not fair.
Right.
It's totally not fair, but that's just the way it is.
Right. The bottom line is you have to figure out what's going to sell hot and quick and what's going to sell, over time. Now, this brings up a question when you start going into stadiums of Van Halen. Let's be honest. Stadium is a very big hole to fill. Here's the other part about that. Seeing a stadium show is a whole different ball game than to seeing an arena show. It really, really is. You're almost going for like the festival atmosphere because in an arena, even if you have the last seat in the house or if you have the front row, you're still like almost in the same room together. You know what I mean? In a way, and you can, you go to a Kiss show, for example, okay? You see Kiss in the 200, 300 section, or you see Kiss on the floor, you're going to get different perspectives, but you're still going to get a full show. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be able to see everything. It should be no problem from the 200, 300 section. You'll get to see and hear everything. In the stadium, it becomes so distant. It's so far, and I have to be honest with you. If I'm a promoter, I do not see Van Halen filling stadiums. I love Van Halen more than anything, but I don't see them as a stadium act in 2019.
They're not.
They're not. How do you... But Dave, we're not even in this business, and we know that. How do we... I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we don't do this for a living, but, like, come on. I mean, that's... Do you see what stadiums are? Like 80,000 people to fill MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Jesus Christ. Are you serious? And here's the other part. What are you going to charge for those tickets? What are you going to do? Charge people $250 for a Van Halen ticket? That's not going to happen.
The only way that's going to happen is if it's, like Monsters of Rock, where there's like, half a dozen bands and one of them is Van Halen.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I didn't pay that for Monsters of Rock. What did I pay? I think I paid $50 for my Monsters of Rock ticket. It was,
Dave, that was like 30 years ago.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, you're not even getting an all-day festival. I mean, you're talking about one night. And you're not even talking about, come on. It just doesn't make sense.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
So, Dave, we have an exclusive interview with the Van Halen. Now, it's not Eddie, it's not Alex, and it's not Wolfie. It's not even Janie, Dave. We pulled a few strings, and we have Cody Van Halen, who has granted us an exclusive. Cody, how are you? Thanks for doing this. I know you're a busy pup. So we wanted to ask you, what's it like being Eddie's pet? We see you all the time cuddling with him on Instagram. Do you like playing with Wolfie? How do you feel about David Lee Roth? You're scared of Dave? Why? He loves dogs. He's even got a dog named Russell. You guys should have a play date. Well, let me ask you this. How do you feel about Sammy Hagar? Whoa! Okay. I guess we got our answer on that one. Well, Cody, we realize you don't have a lot of time, so we want to get down to it.